Hello, my name's Andrew, and today we're talking about what's new with the updated version of the SOFTSTAR Switchback. So last year I tested the original SOFTSTAR Switchback, which is one of the best all-natural barefoot boots you can buy for hiking. But there were a couple of things I thought could be improved, like the water resistance for one. It's not a completely waterproof boot, but especially along here, the stitching tended to let in a little bit too much water, and if I was out on like a slushy, snowy hike, my feet tended to get damp over time. Well, the stitching on mine's held up really well. There were a few people who had issues with separation. But then also I went with the primal toe box this time versus the regular one. The regular has more of your traditional slightly tapered cut, whereas the primal is truly extra wide. It's a little bit more squared off. There's lots of room here for toe splay. And honestly, even with someone with medium width feet, I actually prefer the primal. I think it just gives you more room for stacking up socks, and I like the toe splay. Plus the color is slightly different. There's a little more brown in it. I think it looks really cool, but the main difference with the new version of the Switchback is that they've simplified the stitching here. There's no more middle panel, which I think is one of the major places where water was getting in. You can see on the old ones there's an extra area where it's stitched here. And then another thing SOFTSTAR did with the new Switchback was they actually treated the laces for more water resistance, because one of the most likely causes of separation is that the laces were just kind of disintegrating with too much water. So while they're still not marketed as a waterproof boot, I was really interested to see what would happen if I took them out into some serious water. And it seems like the new stitching is a huge improvement, because I waded into the local canal and I just stood in the water for about 60 seconds and my feet didn't even get the slightest bit damp. Another change SOFTSTAR made that'll definitely help with that is gusseting the tongue, and now it's completely connected up to here, whereas it was separated before. And if you got any water running in, it could get damp pretty quick. So you can wade up to about the high ankle line before you start getting any water spilling in, which is awesome. Around back, they also changed the pull tab. They made it bigger so that you can actually fit your finger in there now, which is nice for carrying the boots. But they've also flipped it inside out, so it has this nice suede texture, which I think looks nice with the more glossy leather. Just for reference, here's the old version. It's really too small to fit your finger in there, and then like I said, it has more of a glossy leather look. The final change they made is that they switched from having a merino wool insole to a suede leather. And this is kind of nice because leather is still insulating, it's temperature regulating, it's antimicrobial, it's moisture wicking, but it's a little bit better for all season use. It doesn't get quite as warm in summer as merino can, especially a thicker merino, but it still feels really nice and soft, and it gives you about an extra 5 millimeters of padding.